What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Game Gods podcast. And today we got a very special guest with us. This is a good friend of mine, my homegirl, Patty K.
Hello.
Hello. And then you guys already know we got the game-god-goldie, Mr. Mega McQueen himself.
Mega McQueen, let's get it, man.
Today's going to be a very fun episode. We're going to be talking a lot about, Patty's story, how she came up on social media. And she's going to be kicking you guys a lot of game of what it took to, become as big as she has. So let's just start how social media got started for you.
So I was in school in Miami, didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I came to Miami on a golf scholarship, got injured, and golf was kind of my center of my life. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to play on tour. And when I got injured, I didn't really know where to take my life. So I kind of had a mini mental breakdown, and I took a year off school. And my parents were like, you're not allowed to get a job because if you get a job, you're not going to go back to school. So what am I supposed to do for a year off? I just decided to grow my Instagram. It started off with just following friends of friends, and then it snowballed into going viral and then getting 100,000 followers within 3 months, and then it grew all the way up to 1 million.
So during that, first off, how'd you get injured? We all want to know.
So I was at a golf tournament in Georgia. It was freezing, 60 degrees, heavy rain, heavy wind. And I wear glasses, so like if it's raining, I'm screwed. I'm screwed. So I was playing. It was my third or fourth hole. My bag just fell into a creek because it was so windy. I was holding on to my umbrella. My bag just fell into a creek. I'm pissed off, just trying to get through the round, and I end up hitting a tree root. I didn't see it. I didn't look at my lie. I hit a tree root and broke my hand. So, and that was that. I couldn't play anymore.
That's like the most unfortunate situation. Okay, so we figured out how you got hurt. Now let's talk about what was like the first thing that got you viral. Where did you, what video, do you remember, what video you're like, oh shit, I'm getting some traction here and I really might be able to do something with this? Or did you just have the mindset, I'm going to do social media, I don't care what's going to happen, and I'm just going to keep posting until I figure this shit out?
Yeah, I was just pretty much locked away in my room for months because I didn't know what to do with my life. And I wasn't mentally in the best spot either, so I didn't really want to go out or do much. And all I did was just spend time on my phone. So before I got big on Instagram, I got really huge on Snapchat. That was my heavy hitting platform first before Instagram. So I got partnered up with these two college pages that had a huge Instagram and a huge Snapchat. One was College Babes and the other one was Girls on Campus. And they were the people that put me in front of a large group of people, and I just captured everyone's attention.
Okay, sweet.
So I was doing Snapchat takeovers, getting posted on their pages. They kind of loved my vibe. I was a college golfer who was studying to be a vet student. So that kind of multifaceted brand was kind of what attracted everyone to me. And then that's when I started doing more explicit content, more sexy content.
Did you have a premium Snapchat?
Yeah, that's where I started first.
Okay, so good question here. When was what was the first piece of content that you ever sent out, and then how far did you know that you wanted to take it?
So when I first started doing the Snapchat takeovers, everyone was asking oh, do you have a Snapchat, a premium VIP Snapchat? And I told myself, I will never show my naked body online ever. It's not even, I wouldn't even send nudes to my boyfriends at the time. I was the biggest prude. And then just being thrown into social media in front of people, I got connected with a lot of people, and I got connected with a celebrity, and I started, chatting with them. He was asking for pictures. And
Wait. Celebrity, who is this? You have to name drop him.
I mean, it was Soulja Boy, I think, back in the day. It was so long ago. It was so long ago.
He was trying to crank that Soulja Boy or what?
I have no idea. And I just sent him a little striptease video, and then I was like, what? If I'm doing this for free for this motherfucker who doesn't pay attention to me.
For free? You did it for free?
Yeah, because I was just excited that someone was giving me attention. Yeah. I wasn't mentally okay at this time. I was just
Okay.
How old were you?
I was
Soulja.
20, 21 years old, I would say.
Yeah.
I was young. My whole life was just turned around. I didn't know what I wanted to do. And then when I did that, and I'm like, if I did it for this motherfucker, like I could easily do this for all the guys that are in my fucking Snapchat asking to see it for a lot of money. So after I did that, I decided to launch my premium Snapchat. Within a week, I made $10,000 easy.
Damn, I believe it.
$10,000
In 1 week, yeah.
How much
In
would
one
you charge
week.
in a month?
I was at that time because I didn't really want to come up with think about monthly recurrent subscriptions because I just didn't want to keep track of all the usernames. I was like, I have a one-time fee of $150.
Damn.
So, and then it continued. It growed. Within a month, I was over $40,000, and it just kept growing and growing and growing. And
Were you tripping when you had that much money?
yeah, I mean, I've never had that much money in my possession. I come from a well-off family. My parents didn't struggle. Well, when they first moved to Canada, they did, but by the time I came, they were in a good position. So, but they were still very financially controlling. They didn't give me any money. It's not like I had free access to all our money. Anytime I wanted to buy something, it came with strings. I need to know who, what, where, when, why. And I'm like, no, that's not fair. I don't want to have to give you all of my information. So when I finally had my own money, it was just a whole different thing. I was spending it on everything. I had no money management skills because they were just holding the money. They told me I have to care about money and this and that. But if someone who doesn't have a lot of money in their possession and finally for the first time gets $40,000 in their bank account, they're going to buy designer shoes, this, that, whatever. So I kind of wish my parents gave me more money management education growing up and actually giving me, certain amounts of money. This is what you have for the month. How are you going to spend it? And kind of teach me those skills before, making all the money that I did.
Listen, you said something. I got a question for you, right? You said before that you was like, nah, I don't even send my boyfriend nudes. I'm not going to do this at all. And I say it all the time. For the right price, every woman is for sale. They just not getting that high price. So when you saw how much money you could make, it was different.
Yeah, it was very, very different.
So you feel like most women who look down on OnlyFans models and things of that nature, it's just because they ain't been offered the right amount of money yet.
Exactly. And if it's just if you do it for the, if it's, OnlyFans, Snapchat, or maybe it's escorting, whatever the case may be, if you really need something, if you're in that position, a certain amount of price will get you there. So you can't knock it until you try it. You can't really knock down on these girls doing this because you're not in their position. You don't know what they need in their lives. So just let them do their hustle. And
Would you argue though that most women, if the dude came, the girl who's never had that access to that type of money ever, she ain't even seen 10 racks before. Would you argue that most girls, if a guy came up and was like, here, I need $100,000 for you to send me a picture or to get on FaceTime and show me a titty real quick, you think most girls would do it?
I think most girls would think about it for sure. And there's the girls that will think about it and do it and not give it too much thought, but just be like, yeah, do it. And then there's the girls that maybe in the future they don't want their man seeing them online, and which I totally get.
Yeah, no, not necessarily seeing them online, but let's say if it's just let's say if I'm a random celebrity and I come into this let's say if I'm Soulja Boy
Shit
and I came to you
leaked
and I'm
all the time though. Shit
feel
gets
you.
leaked all the. You can
feel
never
you.
be a fully 100%
It's inevitable.
entrusted
even if it's
someone
just
else.
a FaceTime.
Even people
they can
record
screenshot
shit,
it.
Exactly.
and they have
Screenshot.
different. They'll have another phone right here
exactly.
recording everything.
Yeah.
So now, when I was younger and I was putting out all this crazy content, I was like, yeah, this is great, whatever. It's whatever. It's on Snapchat. It's gonna go away in 24 hours. I had no idea that there's such a thing as hacking the Snapchats or having a jailbroken phone and they can screen record everything without even letting me know.
Yeah.
Because my whole thing that when I was on Snapchat was, if they screenshot, I kick them out.
Yeah.
But so many Android users were screen recording my videos and leaking it to the whole freaking world. In my mind, I was thinking I'm safe. My parents will never find out. My brother will never find out. What a lie.
Yeah.
Did they find out quick? And how'd they feel about it?
Yeah, first my family in Poland.
Your dad. I want to know how your dad felt about it.
My family in Poland first found out. They reached out to my brother to talk to him about it. And then my brother told my wife.
All the way to Poland?
Yeah.
How did it get to Poland before anyone else?
I have no idea. I mean, this might not be the right story. I don't think my parents and my family really gave me the full exact extent of the story because I don't know. But my brother's wife told my parents. They showed him one of my worst videos you could ever fucking show them online.
What type of video?
Yeah, I was about to say, what
Yeah,
video
we have
is
to
it?
know. What is this? You just built this anticipation.
What was the video? Was you spinning on a dildo or some shit?
Oh no, it was an 8 BBC gangbang.
Oh my god.
Wait, say that again.
It was an 8 BBC gangbang.
Oh, she's wild, y'all. Oh my god.
I used to do swinger content with my ex-husband, and that's what got leaked online.
Wait. It was with your ex-husband and 8 other dudes.
Yeah.
Was your ex-husband? He was black, obviously.
He was Puerto Rican, but he was really dark, so
Okay,
everyone
got it.
always thought he was black.
Right. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he was into like having other dudes like fuck his wife. It's interesting. That's so. How old are you now, if you don't mind me asking?
I just turned 29.
Oh wow. Okay, you look really good.
Thank you.
So 10 dudes at one time, you said, or 8 dudes?
Eight dudes. Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot of cocks.
It's a lot, and imagine my dad seeing that.
Yeah.
Oh my
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to
No,
laugh,
it
but
was the worst time of my
crazy.
life.
Oh my God.
Oh,
So at the time, me and my ex, we weren't married at the time, but when my parents found out, they cut me off. And I'm from Canada. I was here like on a student visa. It was a little bit different. And when they cut me off, like I had to figure out a way. So,
Right.
I was with my ex at the time, and he was like, well, let's just get married. Let's get your citizenship. Like, I love you. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Like, you're the perfect woman letting me do all this crazy shit, blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, okay, let's do it. So that's when I got married, because I had no other choice. I didn't want to go back to Canada. That was not on my agenda at all. I wanted to stay here in Miami. So
that was the type of content you were doing on Snapchat and OnlyFans and things like that? Wow. That's wild.
it was crazy times. But it turned dark very quickly.
Wow, and just look at her. I would
never guess that. I promise you, I would have never guessed that.
You just never know.
You never know, man.
But you know what she said? And I want y'all to chime in on this. She said it was about other people seeing it. And I feel like a lot of women, they're not righteous. They just care. Look, I was just in Colombia, right? We was getting prostitutes at the house. I'm just trying to get a video. I'm like, I don't want to pay to have sex. I just want to pay y'all so I can get content.
Yeah. Oh, I like that.
Listen.
Yeah.
You know what they said to me?
What they say?
No. I said, what? No.
Yeah.
They was like, I'll have sex, but you can't record me.
Oh,
so
my
what
God.
I'm saying is it goes to the fact that women care more about being seen and being judged than they actually care about. They would rather have sex for money than let me record them for money. So somebody might see it.
Yeah.
And I feel like
but you see how much scrutiny women get, though? Like, that's
Yeah.
why they don't want to do that shit,
Yeah.
because men are like, you whore, you slut, you this, you that. But like,
Yeah.
if y'all be doing the same shit, it's okay. Y'all play the game, whatever the case may be. But if it's girls doing it, there's so much scrutiny coming from like the male side. So we gotta hide our fucking freakiness.
ooh, and they hide it.
We
well.
hiding it.
They hide it well.
Yeah. I don't think that so I don't think that women should have to hide their freakiness. I think that there's a lot of women out here who are like for example, these bitches are prostitutes.
Yeah.
You're out here fucking dudes, multiple dudes every day.
And guess what? Most of they got husbands, boyfriends, all of that. They probably don't
Yeah.
even know
So
what they're
I
doing.
get it when it comes to that, but it's just like, bitch, how about you just don't do that?
Yeah, there's.
You know what I'm
also
saying?
that.
Like that's my thing. Now I respect a woman who's openly freaky, but if it's different if you out here fucking a bunch of dudes every single day. You know what I'm saying? Like I get it. You know. So I got a question for you. Okay, you mentioned you were dating this guy, and he mentioned that he really liked you because he felt like he wanted to spend the rest of his life with you because you were allowing him to do a bunch of crazy shit, right? I hope that hasn't warped your.
Oh, it has. It has.
Has that? But hold on, let me finish though. My question to you is: do you believe in what do you if you have a good man in your life? Do you believe in submitting to him? I'm just gonna ask that first question. Okay, all right. So, what does submitting look like to you?
I mean, I tried that with my ex because I was in a very pleasing, like, I'm a giver, I'm a pleaser.
Yeah.
I'm traditional in that sense. Like, I will let you like control like the man things, and I'll do the woman things. Like, that's just how I grew up. I'm Polish by background. We have traditional values, but I did that with my ex, and he fucked up royally. So like now I feel like I have to be in this like independent more position because I can't trust another man to fuck up my life again.
The ex that you were just talking about doing videos with you.
Yeah.
You don't feel like it was the fact that you were doing those things that he could never really be truly the man that he needs to be to you, because deep down inside he knows that you're doing all of these things even though he wants it?
Probably. I mean, he has a lot of mental issues. That man. He's
Yeah, you got to.
But see,
he has a lot of issues.
So
he's
see,
a drug
like,
addict. Like he's on his own path.
I want
makes sense.
to present to you some game.
Okay.
Do you feel like? How do you feel about the notion that I'm about to present? You said right now that you feel like because of that situation, it's harder for you to kind of get back into that submissive role because he morally fucked that shit up, right? And now you're feeling like you got to get in your independent boss bitch. I don't need no man type of bag, right? That's the type of bag you feel like you kind of got to be in. Now?
Kind of. I'm on that, but also I do want to find someone to take care of me and like do all that.
Of course, right? But how do you feel about the notion that like the more you lean into that independent woman bag, the more you're pushing away the man that is worthy of that submission?
Well,
What are your thoughts about that?
I mean, I still have bills to pay and I still have to hustle and like take care of my shit. I have dogs. Like I don't have kids, but I have dogs that are like my kids, and I still have to, like, I don't want to be working anymore. Like I would be the happiest person if I had a man just to take care of me, and I take care of the home, I take care of the kids, and I make sure when he comes home everything's nice and fine and dandy. I would love that.
Yeah.
But I don't have the room to be in and just be like, you know.
No. I'm not saying to stop whatever you're doing for your individual life. Yeah. I meant like the mentality. I mean, and correct me if I'm wrong. If like I meant like the mentality of like, all these niggas don't deserve my submission. Like I'm a boss bitch. I don't need no man. Like, don't you feel like that's spiritually pushing away the guy that does deserve submission?
I don't feel like that's her energy.
That's not my energy.
That's why I was asking. Correct me if I'm wrong.
It's not.
Okay.
I really want a husband. I really want.
Okay, I like that.
But it's like it's hard to find guys that are in that role for me to be okay with.
Yeah.
it.
Let me ask real quick.
Okay, I think you're gonna ask me
Do
the
you
same.
truly think that you'll be able to find a man who would want to provide for a woman who has done gangbangs on
No,
camera?
and that's why I'm fucking regretting the shit I did back in the day.
So when you meet a dude, do you lie to him about you just
No.
don't bring it up? You tell him.
I have to because it's online, and I've done experimental dating where I went out with one guy, didn't say anything, and see how far that went, and then I went with another guy, said everything up front, see how far that went, and then I went with another guy that I waited 3, 4, 5 dates and then told him. And from my like gathered data, telling right up front is the best way to do it because they get pissed if you lie to them.
Yeah.
Like,
I'd be
100%,
sick.
yeah.
you're wasting time, energy, money. And then I also feel like shit, like that I'm a good person and you're still gonna let me go because of what's online, and that also makes me feel like shit. So it's not really all about them, but it's also about protecting my heart as well.
Yeah, because if I was with you for a whole year, and God forbid, like I'm have a worse enemy for whatever reason, and then he's like utilizing that against me, and then it gets put in front of me, like I'd be upset because you didn't tell me about it. But if you're upfront about it, everyone's got a past, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like for me, honestly, I could look past a lot of it because everyone changes. What's that thing? Every sinner's got a past. Every saint has a past, and every sinner has a future. Whatever that thing is.
So you're telling me you go on a date with a woman, you liked everything about her. She gets on the date and she tells you, I used to do gangbangs on camera. You're gonna continue to deal with her?
It just kind of depends. It depends on the vibe, man. It's like I got a pass. I got a sick pass. I done slept with 400 or 500 women, and I don't know.
Kellen's just different. I'm gonna be 100. I'm not dealing with that. But that's no disrespect to you. I just be like, it really is unfortunate because it's like it's less about to me. I feel like if no one knew, if would you still tell them? Like if it wasn't on the internet, would you tell these guys?
No, hell no.
Hey, and that's a lot of women. It's a lot of women out here doing that not on camera.
That's what I'm saying.
Nobody.
And then and you ain't gonna never know.
And they say, and they got boyfriends. They got husbands. I know a lot of prostitutes married to this day. Their husbands don't know that they was prostitute for 10 years.
Exactly.
They don't.
Shit, my girl could have been out here getting smacked by 10 Puerto Rican niggas. I would never know. You know what I'm saying? I would never know. So it's just like, but like you said, you're still a good person, right?
No, and it's
so like if you're in a relationship with a man, you're gonna be submissive. If he's like, a man that you really like, you're gonna be submissive, right? And if that was never on the internet and you're being this submissive, docile, you know what I'm saying?
I would have been wiped
woman,
up already.
But that's what I'm saying. My point is like if you were in that situation, that nigga would never know.
Yeah.
He would never know. And the only reason why he would ever feel lied to, betrayed, and leave is because it's on the internet. And as a man, that shit hurts.
It sucks.
That hurts.
Because when I was doing all this, I was literally under the like impression that I was going to be with this man for the rest of my life. So I didn't care. I was
Yeah.
like, I'll do anything for you. I love you. This is the person who I devoted myself. I also considered marriage very like it meant something to me. It wasn't just a paper. Like I come from a religious family. Like that always mattered to me.
Yeah.
So like when I did all this, I never thought I would be single again.
You
and
don't feel
having-
like that's kind of contradictory? You saying you value certain things, you come from a religious family, but you doing gangbangs on camera?
I know, but it's spirituality. It's not a linear path. Like you lose faith. You stray from God's path, and I've came back to it. I'm a different person now, and also my mental health wasn't the greatest when I met my ex-husband. I met him in the middle of my mental breakdown when I was off of like school and stuff. So like I wasn't mentally okay. I got the help I needed. I did therapy. I found myself. I sought and found God. So people do change and people do have paths, but I don't think you should necessarily like just judge a whole book by like the first 3 chapters of it,
I hear what you're saying, but don't you think the fact that you did certain acts, it changes you as a person a little bit? A woman who's had that experience versus a woman who hasn't had that experience, don't you think they're going to be a little different just because we are who we are based on our experiences?
I mean, of course. I'm just going to be a little bit better in bed, I think. Like, I just know how to handle more. But I'm kidding. But
You're not kidding at all.
I can't speak from the experience of someone who hasn't done something that I did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know what a girl is feeling that has only had 3 partners versus what I've had. Like, I can't really put myself in her shoes because I'm way past that.
Yeah.
But I know who I am today, and today I feel like I have changed. It's not what I want. I want a monogamous relationship. I'd never want to be in something like that ever again.
Do you have any desire at all to get smacked by 8 niggas?
No.
No?
That was like, I can't even handle one now. It's hard. It's freaking
What is the difference
exhausting.
between now and then, though? Like, you're saying you can't handle one now. But
no.
why not now? Why can't, like, what is the difference?
People change. I was under a spell with my ex-husband. I don't want to like blame him for everything I did because I
course.
do take accountability for my actions, but my choices were made based on the information in front of me, and the information in front of me was false.
Yeah.
And for her too, when you have a man that's like I don't know if he was manipulating
very-
you, but
He was a drug addict.
I'm about to say, nigga.
He was
I'm about to say.
he was an addict, and when I found out that he was using me for his addiction because he couldn't use drugs anymore, so he used sex as his new addiction, and I was pretty much his drug. Like, that's when shit changed.
Did he put a gun to your head and say, you need to fuck 8 niggas with me?
No, but he said like, I'm only attracted to you if you do it.
Yeah, but at
I'm
the end of the
only,
day,
like,
he
with
didn't
you if
force
you
you
do
to
it.
fuck 8 niggas.
Of course not, but the mental like manipulation is just as like scary as putting a gun to your head sometimes.
It's not. It's just not comparable. That's just not comparable.
Yes, it
I'm
is.
sorry.
There's literally data that shows that mental abuse, like verbal, like mental abuse, does the same or even worse damage on a brain than physical abuse does.
Of course, mental abuse is, but at the end of the day, we all have the choice to say,
I know, of
to walk
course.
away. Do you know what I'm saying?
I understand, but like there's.
I just feel like if you're young and you're very impressionable.
So let's put this in reverse.
It all
Hold on.
boils down to education.
No. Let's
Yeah,
put this in.
that
Let's put
too.
this in perspective. Let's put this in perspective. I'm
Come on.
21 years old.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm dating a girl. Okay, and this girl basically says, "Listen to me. I love you so much. You know what I'm saying? And you're the greatest guy in the world. You need to fuck." Fucking 10 bitches with me with this K, and you need to do all this crazy shit. And 10 years later, it gets leaked online, and then it's a whole thing on the internet. And then I come out and I say, okay, I get on the internet and that video gets posted on the Shade Room, and it's me saying, listen, guys, I was manipulated by my girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? And mental manipulation is the worst. And I was completely manipulated. What do you think them bitches gonna give a single fuck? What they gonna say? They're gonna say, nigga, you had a choice. You were a grown man and you were able to get out of that situation. Are they not?
I got out when I could.
No. Answer the question.
just saying.
Are they gonna sit there and say, "Oh my God, you know what? He was manipulated. You know what? He had no choice. You know what? Shame on that girl. She should have not forced that man to do that shit." Or they're gonna be like, "Nigga, you was a grown man. You had the choice to get out of that." Tell me.
No, yeah, for sure.
So why are we not holding women to the same standard?
Hey, we are though. We are. You guys are putting so much pressure on us. It's like you keep saying that we're not. We are being put to this standard. What are you saying? The shit I have to deal with every day because of my choices that I've done the last few years. You don't think I have to deal with this every day? Don't give me that shit.
What is your response to that, Goldie?
Don't, like, we are being held accountable.
To what?
To everything she's saying.
I can't find a husband right now. This is me holding myself accountable. What do you mean?
I feel like she is not holding herself accountable because she's putting it on the man. Now,
it's not. I do hold myself accountable.
I could understand what you're saying. Of course, manipulation is real in relationships. Men and women go through it. But as a grown adult, the difference between an adult and a child is an adult takes responsibility. Children blame everybody else. As a grown woman, even if you had a man that was manipulating you, to come on here and put it on him instead of saying, you know what, I wasn't in the best place, I didn't know the right things, and it was my fault. That's a better answer.
That's what I said, but there were lots of different circumstances that made my decisions. I made the decisions based on the evidence that was put in front of me.
So you didn't like it?
At first, it was exciting. My first 2 times that I did it was great. And I was like, okay, I did it, I'd done this. But there was a lot of circumstances. I got cut off by my parents. I was in a marriage. I had a green card to worry about. I had legal repercussions. I couldn't just fucking leave. Yeah. And I did contact lawyers in the middle of it. Like, if I wanted to leave, what do I have to do? Can I do a post-nup? Can I do this? How do I get the fuck out? I've tried, but...
You know, if I was dating a woman and she came and she told me that situation, I would be able to accept it if she wasn't blaming the man. If she came to me and said, you know, I like some of it. You know, and over time, through experience, I realized it wasn't right. I changed it as a person. I was getting older. I would be able to accept that woman. But when a woman makes excuses, it seems like she's still trying to justify, and I can't get with that all the way.
No, I mean,
like, that's some game right there. So you're basically saying you'd be okay with it.
Like Kellen said, you know, because I've dealt with a lot of women in, you know, the sex industry and things like that. And that didn't bother me because of who they were as a person and what they were doing for me.
Right, exactly.
So if she was the right person, it may not matter. But if a woman was still trying to justify, oh, somebody made me do something, oh, it's because of this, I know she hasn't fully grown and took responsibility, and that wouldn't be somebody that I could deal with.
Yeah.
Of course.
What do you think about that? What do you think about that?
Listen, I did what I did, and I made the choices I made, and that's why I'm here and I'm talking about it. I speak very freely about it, but it wasn't a one-party thing. It was a 2-party dance that I had to do with my ex, and there's partial blame there as well. There's 2 parts to every relationship. He did this, and then I reacted. I did this, he reacted. I can't take full responsibility for something that happened with 2 people. There's no way. I have responsibility for my actions that I took based on what information I got. And I thought I was going to be with this man forever, and it wasn't the case.
A nigga calls me a bitch. I sock his ass. Okay? I go to jail. We're in the court of law. And I say, listen to me.
I can't take responsibility.
I can't take responsibility because this nigga called me a bitch. I had to sock his ass.
Yeah, but being called a bitch isn't illegal, but assaulting someone is. So you can't really No,
my point is your argument is someone did something that influenced you, and because of that, you are forced now to have to do something back. You're not.
I mean, what do you What do you
At the end of the day, I have the choice to not sock this nigga, even though he just disrespected the fuck out of me.
Of course, but
I have to be the one to make the final decision. You know
I had to also live with my decisions, and I had to live with this man for at least 2 years, bro. I couldn't leave. I was cut off. I had literally no status. I was trying to of course, I would not want to be with someone who was cheating behind my back and doing all this stuff. I wanted to leave. I wanted to leave literally 3 months after I got married, but
you're stuck because of the green card.
Exactly.
Situation.
I was trying to still make a life for myself here. I didn't want to go back home because
I'm
going back home.
You would have to leave to a different country.
I would have to go back, and I didn't want to do that. I was literally trying to figure out the best way that I can, still get my green card, stay in the situation that I'm not comfortable with. I literally was reaching out to lawyers to figure out a situation out. There was no easy way out.
Was it hard having to stay with that person for 2 years?
Oh, yeah, because I was trying to be you know what, I'm just going to fake it until I make it. I'm just going to try to coast along the side. But then, when you're in
What did that look like?
It was super hard. And then COVID happened. So we were stuck in an apartment together. We were just fucking stuck. And there's, what's it called? Stockholm syndrome, when you're with your fucking abuser locked away for so long. It really fucking changes your mind. So then, oh, he's doing better. He's treating me better now, this and now that. And then when things were better, I was like, okay, maybe we can open up those doors again. I felt more comfortable. And then again, he fucking cheats on me again or does something abusive again. And then it goes back to shit. And this is a fucking 3-year cycle in the middle of fucking COVID.
But you did have a choice. It was just an uncomfortable choice.
It was a very, very tough choice I didn't know how to handle.
But you had a choice. yeah, I can leave this man. I could not do things that I don't want to do, but I would have to go back to Canada and figure it out. Not an easy choice to make,
No,
but
not every
you did
choice
have
is
a
easy.
choice.
Both the choices that I had in front of me were not easy. They were both not easy. Whichever way I would have taken, I still would have been in a very shitty situation.
But at least if you'd have went back to Canada, you wouldn't have to
Who
be
the fuck
subjected
knows
to
what
the
would happen
things.
if I went back to Canada? I could have been a stripper back in Canada. Who the fuck knows what would have happened? I took the fucking decision I took, and I got to where I am today. And you know what? I'm proud of who I am today because I learned all those fucking lessons. And now when I talk to younger girls who are considering doing the same shit, I'm like, do you know what you're putting yourself into?
I'm glad. I think you should talk about that.
Yeah, talk about that.
No,
I feel like a lot of women don't really understand what you're talking about, how the things that are online are going to be there forever. They can get leaked.
It's so, like, it's terrible. Like, I have girls being like, oh, I want to start an OnlyFans. I want to start doing this. And I'm like, are you okay with your family finding out about it? Because even if you're showing just bikini pictures or just maybe like a nipple here and there, OnlyFans has a negative connotation for being a porn website.
Yeah.
Even if you just show a nipple or just bikini pictures, people will still think the worst of you. And it's not just your close family and friends. It's bigger brands. Like, you can't get sponsorship deals because you have OnlyFans in your link. Like, even if you don't show shit, it don't matter. OnlyFans has this huge negative connotation. You're losing out on money there. Like, me trying to transition out of me being this huge like swinger content creator on OnlyFans to becoming a golf influencer, going into a really hard niche that is very, very straight and narrow. Like, they don't like accept very, sexual people in the golf niche. So I see it firsthand. I see it firsthand, and I tell girls, like, don't go into it. If you want to make money off a platform, like, make money on subscriptions on Instagram or subscriptions on the like YouTube or whatever the case may be, the platforms that are brand friendly, if you want to make it big in this world. Because
with you saying that, and me being in the OnlyFans management space, a lot of people come to me constantly all the time like, oh, I want to start an OnlyFans. And, I see these people and I know they're not meant for it. And I'll ask them a hard question. I'm like, hey, you couldn't think of anything better to do other than start an OnlyFans? Like, you don't know how to use your brain? And then they're like, oh, yeah, you're right.
Look,
this isn't for
I
me.
say it all the time. Okay, you want to do OnlyFans. You're not thinking about your kids. Now, if they ever wanted to run for office, they can't do it because of the decision that you made. So you better be making those hundreds of thousands a month to have made it work to set their life up, because you just cut off a lot of options for them.
Yeah, even if, like, say you're a girl that does OnlyFans and you want to date an athlete, that athlete can't even date you because you have an OnlyFans link in your bio.
Yeah, that shit's fucked up. He'll lose out on brand deals and shit. It's crazy too because they don't even understand Would you say that it's important to? Because I feel like women are gonna listen more to women.
oh yeah,
So I want to and I want to make this clear. I'm not trying to make you feel less than. I think it's important to get the message
no,
out. You know what I'm saying?
you're the way you think is a way a lot of men think in this world.
But at the same time, I'm not trying to demean you either.
No,
You know what
I
I'm
get
saying?
it, but like I understand.
Yeah.
Because
So my point I'm trying to get at here is like I feel like I've seen so many videos online of where girls, they're moms and they have OnlyFans, and then their kids go to school and now they getting bullied because these kids is talking about, I seen your mama naked with the whoop, I'm trying to fuck your mom with the whoop. Do you like that? That'll make a nigga want to kill himself. That'll make a nigga want to off himself. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I feel like it's a lot of times that people aren't understanding the huge ripple effect it has into the universe that you're out here, that girls are doing that. You know what I'm saying? Now, there's nothing wrong. If you want to do that, do it. But just understand what comes with it. You know what I'm saying? And don't complain about it later. And I think it's important for you now that you've gone through that, and like you said, because of your experiences, now you say you're able to guide women.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? So I think it's important to let them know, like, look, if you want to do that, cool. But just understand this, and this is gonna happen. And if you're okay with that, cool. Take that, understand that, but just don't complain about it. Because at the end of the day, like you said, you had a choice. It was a very hard choice, but you made your choice, and you're proud of the woman you are today because of the choice you went down. But I just want it to be a confirmed and emphasized thing that you do have a choice. You know what I'm saying?
We always have choices, and it just we hope to choose the best ones. But I'm not gonna sit and like really
dwell on it
because the choices brought me to where I am today here with you guys.
Right.
And I couldn't.
Would
be
you
more
suggest
grateful.
that for women though?
I wish I had someone to tell me more about it and really sit down and explain to me the repercussions, because I didn't think about any of the stuff that I just said just earlier on. I didn't think about it when I started at all.
Yeah.
In
Do
my
you think
mind,
that women think long term when they make decisions?
it just depends on what kind of decisions, and depends on,
I think women are so like, I just want to have fun and I'm so in the moment. I'm such a like, free spirited thing, and that they don't think
I
about
don't
the
think
long
we
term.
can just group all women into one category.
Of course not. There's always the exception. I'm just saying
Yeah.
I'm saying like in a general blanket statement, you know what I'm saying? Where I feel like what I've seen from a lot of women is they're just like, they don't think long term.
Even dudes, even
Yeah.
like we're in their moment when they're trying to fuck these girls raw with no condom, and all of
exactly.
a sudden they got a kid a month later.
Hey, we was just talking about having mentors and how that's important. If this young lady would have had an older mentor
I
that she
wish.
trusted, that it would have been very obvious for somebody older than her that she trusted to be able to tell her that that's a wrong decision. But when
Yeah.
you don't have any guidance, we all make mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes because I didn't have the right people around me.
I was
So
literally in my room alone for like months on end, like no one to talk to, but these dudes online, they're
you
like,
know what
do
they
it,
say?
do it,
A
do
woman,
it.
I mean, men, everybody. And so my brother went to
Yeah.
prison. And he tried to reject his sentence because they said he was 17 when he did the crime. They say your frontal lobe doesn't fully develop till 25 to even make those rational decisions.
Yeah.
So to even have the opportunity to make those type of decisions when you're that young, you're not going to make the right decision most of the time.
Yeah, exactly. So I know like me and a lot of girls in my friend group, and just girls that kind of came up on OnlyFans and on Instagram around the same time as me, are all in the same boat. We're all thinking the same way. Like maybe we should have
telling.
done
I'm sure.
things differently.
Yeah.
Like we need to rebrand. Like it's time to like
glamour,
leave that.
and they
in this-
glamorize
They
this in such a way right
They
now
did.
that every woman feels like, well, I should stop doing this. They don't tell
Yep.
the
No,
downside.
but I think
to
it's
it.
coming down now. Like
You think
during
so?
COVID, it was like every rapper, every pop singer was bringing OnlyFans into the music. I'm an OnlyFans star, whatever the case may be, and then making it so glamorized. I think now it's on the come down, on a huge come down. Because like my kind of group of girls, we came up right before COVID. Like we were on OnlyFans right before like the huge like surge into OnlyFans. So like we've seen it all, and
Look
we're
at like Nala.
yeah. I mean that's an interesting. That's an interesting person, but people change. People honestly change, and we all are trying to rebrand now, and we want to be known for something more than just being a hot piece of ass on the internet. Because you could hit a rock or throw a rock, hit anyone in Miami, and that they're a fine piece of ass on Instagram. So I see it now.
That's why I live here.
It's hard. It's really fucking hard, and I'm gonna say this, that really, really take into consideration what you put out there and what you want for the rest of your life. Because me having all the stuff that I have out there is having issues finding a real job, finding a real husband, like being where I want to be in my life right now. It's absolutely tough.
You hear that, ladies? Make sure you choose wisely.
Do you feel like you have no choice right now but to continue to do OnlyFans because of that?
Yes, a little bit. I mean, everyone has choices, and I mean, I could quit.
But right
And-
now, like, while you're learning new skills and trying to rebrand, that's still how you're making money.
Oh
correct?
yeah, that's my main source of income. But the golf is doing pretty well.
Good.
I'm opening up a caddy business, so giving lessons, being golf caddies for people on the golf course. So I'm doing that, and that's actually I'm getting clients slowly, but they're coming. So I'm hoping I can be on the golf course all day and produce that type of content, because it's actually content that makes me feel good inside, makes me happy. I can be there all day, and then having to come home and answer OnlyFans messages, I literally die inside a little bit. But
Let me ask you a question, right? And I feel like a lot of dudes, they want to know this. What type of relationship did you have with your father that would allow you to do what you did? Because a lot of dudes, they want to avoid their woman, their daughter feeling like that. It had to be something in your life.
I'm the anomaly. I had a great family life. They were like controlling, very strict, if anything, very Catholic, very Polish, very
So you
strict.
think it's the strict? A lot of times, strict parents, the pastors' kids are the worst because they're so control. You
And
feel
I-
like
and
that's
I-
what it was.
And I couldn't talk to my parents about things.
Talk to your kids.
So if I
Super
had
important. Communication. We always talk about communication. It's so important.
Yeah.
You got to have
Yeah.
the hard
Man,
conversations.
I'd want my daughter to come to me and feel comfortable coming to me
Yeah,
saying, hey, I'm
facts.
thinking about doing this. So,
I
talk
wish
to
I
your
had
kids.
that.
Yeah.
I talk to my son right now. He's 12. I talk to him about everything. Stuff that's uncomfortable for him. I'm like, no, you can
that's
talk
amazing.
to me.
You
Yeah.
need to do it, and that's what I learned for my future kids. Like, I know there's a fine line of being like friends with your kids and being a parent to your kids, but I want my kids to know that they can come to me with anything. I couldn't go to my parents about anything. Anytime like I felt, you know, something wrong with myself mentally when I was younger, I'm like, I'm feeling off. They would laugh at me. Or if I talked about sex, they like, you know, shunned me, like anything like that. I couldn't have that open communication.
I think that's very important to talk to your kids about sex because they're going through it and they're experiencing it. And sex is like a drug. So you need to definitely walk your kids through
I had no
those
sexual
situations.
education from my parents. The only thing I learned was from school. And school, we all know that school doesn't teach us that much.
Hell no.
So I wish like if I had my parents to talk to, being like, hey, like, what's this? What's that? Like, I wouldn't be hiding it all.
But the relationship with your dad couldn't have been great because you would think to yourself, I won't do this just because I know it'll kill my dad inside.
I didn't think it was going to come back to my parents because I started off on Snapchat. It was in my mind, it was gone in 24 hours. In my mind, I'm like, oh, it's gone in 24 hours. And if someone screenshots it, like I'll kick them off really quick because I was always on the phone making sure no one's screenshotting that shit.
The importance of having mentors. A young adolescent's
I was just gonna
mind
say it.
will think that, but to anyone older, they would have understood.
Yeah, I knew what I knew with all the information I had in front of me, and I did what I did based on that. And you know what's really fucking crazy? When my dad found out, he called me every worst name in the book. Of course, who wouldn't? But me and my dad's relationship now, after dealing with that, having to go through a divorce, even me like having really tough conversations, me yelling at my dad, like we have had the best relationship of my life now after going through all of this. And this is why I say like, yeah, like I regret everything I did, but I'm also very thankful to be here where I am today because now I have that open line of communication with my parents that I've never had in my life.
Yeah.
I talk to them about everything. I call them every day. Like my dad was before we would never talk about anything, and now my dad will come and take care of my dogs when I'm traveling.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did all this shit and made me look like crap online, but the relationships I value the most, family, friends, has gotten so much better since all of that.
That's great.
So I mean, we can only really look at the positives here.
Yeah. Guys, so look, the importance of mentorship. This is why it's so important for you guys to come join our community. We're going to give you guys the best game constantly. Make sure you guys go click that link in our bio. You know, we got the bi-weekly calls for you. We have all of our ebooks in there. And then we have a bunch of courses, you know, how to talk to women, you know, how to build a personal brand, and so much more. So just come rock with us, and we're going to set you guys up for success. And then I want to talk about, too, now is... you know, you're doing the golf thing. I want you to talk to everyone watching this how important it is to have a personal brand online. You've built how many followers do you have on Instagram?
1.5 million.
1.5 million followers, and you get really good engagement. So, you know, if you ever wanted to switch up and quit doing OnlyFans, how easy it would. I don't know if you've ever thought about this, but for example, for you to start building a community online, whatever that may look like, you know, selling digital products, you know, having your own products to be able to sell to your people. You have 1.5 million people that could easily replace that income. Yeah, it's going to take some time, and it's going to take a lot of work to, you know, be able to put these products together or the community together. But, you know, if you structure it right, you could definitely replace that income easily within, you know, 4 to 6 months, I feel like.
I mean, I'm trying. I really am looking at every opportunity outside of, you know, adult content. I'm really looking at it at a fine-tuned glass to make sure that everything's in line. I have better mentors, lawyers, and stuff like that. I'm just looking for the right opportunity to get me out of there. And also, I only know what I know. So
yeah, how long have you been doing this?
Like content creation?
No, like OnlyFans, making good money on OnlyFans. How many years have you been making good money?
2019. So
since 2019.
years.
Have you been able to save? And if you have, what have you invested in that you would tell people that's a great investment?
Unfortunately, all the money I made during my marriage, which was my highest earning years on OnlyFans, was stolen by my ex-husband. Like I literally left the marriage with zero money in my bank account. So unfortunately, it's very important to even girls who are not on OnlyFans or making a lot of money and they're with someone to really get yourself your own financial person to take care of your money. Don't trust automatically your significant other with their money.
How was he able to steal it?
So, because like I said, I was traditional in a way, like my man was paying the bills, taking care of the money part, like finances, all that. So he was being like, babe, I'm taking the money to, invest in crypto so we can set up for our future. And he had I only knew about one crypto wallet. He had 4 different wallets, and he was just moving money left and right.
I think this is important because we talk about it all the time. Do you feel like it's very important a woman know how to choose a man?
Oh, yeah. But how do we know how to choose a man when there's not many good men to choose from in the world?
I hear, so that should be something women should really take into account, right? When you choose a man, since you putting your life and your direction in his hands, you should really try to at least figure out some characteristics. In hindsight, do you see, was it a lot of red flags that you would see now that you say, oh, it was many things he did, I just didn't know to pay attention to him?
Honestly, he was older, so the red flags that I knew at my age was
how much
college.
older?
He was 8 years older than me. So the red flags that I knew about were with little boys, college boys. That was different than an older man red flags.
So give the lady some red flags.
I mean,
I was about to ask you that. I was like, Goldie, give her some good insight on key indicators.
She done went through a bad situation, so she should be able to tell me what were the red flags that you should have seen.
His erraticness. He was very erratic. He was very he didn't take too much time to make his decisions. He was very go, go, go. I should do this, I should do that. And I didn't like that. I was a little bit of a red flag. But when I was young, I'm like, yeah, this is a good idea. Let's do it. I was like, yeah, let's do it together. But in my mind, I'm like, yo, if I were to see that now, I'd be like, yo, chillax. Let's take a step back and look at the whole picture. Do your due diligence. Yeah, but in my mind, I was young and I was like, yeah, let's do it. He's older, he knows what he's doing. Let's do it. There was that. And also because he was a swinger, so a lot of the red flags had to do with the sexual side.
Shouldn't that be a red flag right there off the back that a man wants to have sex with you and other people?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And doesn't want to keep you to himself?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a huge red flag. At the time, I didn't think it was, but now I would never entertain anyone like that. It wouldn't even be in my close circle of dudes that I would ever want.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it also felt nice because he was I was able to do whatever. He was able to do whatever. I felt freedom in that relationship. I was young and I was like, okay, whatever, freedom. But it was funny because when I ended up being with him, I didn't use any of that freedom because I just wanted to be with him. He wanted me to go out and seek other guys myself. And I'm like, no, I don't want that.
Let me ask you a question. I know a lot of people, they got their opinions on this. Do you feel like the fact that you have been with 8 guys at one time, multiple times, that would make you incapable of being satisfied if you had a husband sexually because you've had so many experiences to the utmost extreme?
Those extremes aren't anything I like right now. So no, my taste changed. I was into one type of dude when I was in college. Now I'm into a different dude now. You know what I mean? Tastes always change, and that type of taste is completely changed.
But you know how they say people who watch a lot of porn, it makes it hard for them to be satisfied with their partner because they so overstimulate. You don't think just because you've had those experiences, you're going to compare it to those things?
No, because I've had a lot of singular one dude experiences since then, and I've had a lot of wild, great sex just with one person, and it don't make a difference. It don't make a difference at all. And I honestly prefer just giving my energy to one person instead of focusing it everywhere. I prefer that, and I want to please my one person.
Have you guys ever been in a gangbang?
No.
Is that something you?
Have you ever had multiple partners? Threesomes, foursomes?
I've had threesomes.
Yeah.
I've never had a threesome.
You never had a threesome?
No.
Yeah.
I'm not really threesomes to me is, first of all,
it's too much work.
Yeah,
it's too much confusion. I feel like now it's a job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then if it's a woman that you got and another woman that you got, now who do I nut in? Who do I get? And it's just too much you thinking about. I'd rather just have my woman one at a time.
That's just how I think about things too now, honestly.
Yeah.
I only want one guy now. There's no way I could ever do any of that ever again. It's completely.
I feel like a lot of guys like the idea of a threesome. You know what I'm saying? It's not actually the act of it because the act is,
You have to know what you're doing, or else it's gonna be awkward, and someone's gonna get pissed.
Yep.
And
it's gonna create a lot of problems.
You need a threesome with a bisexual woman so that the girls can do their own thing.
While
the guy
sure.
recovers and it's 100%. Still fun and you get to watch. But if it's 2 girls that are just doing it to please the guy, it's not always a fun time.
This is some good game right here. She knows what she's talking about.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I've dealt with a lot of swinging, so I can give really good advice on it, but I will never do it again.
So tell us about swinging. I'm so curious about that. I I know it's a whole culture. There's swinger clubs here in Miami.
Yeah.
There's swinger cruise ships that you guys could go on. Have you ever been on like a swinging cruise ship?
No, but I know which one you're talking about. I know a lot of people that go on it. They love it. But the swinger clubs are not all that. I don't recommend them at all. There's always old people, like really disgusting old people that go to the
Listen,
swinging clubs.
that's what I say. Like in Vegas, they have a bunch of swinger clubs, and all dudes be like, "Oh, I'm gonna go." In my mind, listen, it's not gonna be the best looking. The type of people that would even go to that are not the type of people with the mindset that you're gonna think it's gonna be a bunch of porn stars.
Yeah.
I already know just the type of person you got to be to even be in a swinger shit is always a not really attractive looking person.
It was like the dude sitting in class, like sitting underneath a tree with his hair to the side. Oh,
Yeah, it's like going to a nude beach and expecting it to be like the baddest bitches
No, the
there.
nude beach here in Sunny Isles is absolutely terrible. I don't know if you've been.
in Sunny Isles? No, I haven't, but I could only imagine it's just a bunch of old people out
The
there.
shit I've
just-
seen there, oh my God.
Yeah.
I bet.
It's not cute. But I mean, people do throw swinger parties, and that's where you find like the better looking couples. It's like hand selected, hand picked. There also are like
You a swinging connoisseur.
I mean, I just did it for a really long time.
So what about the that's what I think. Like, what about the STDs like that you're worried about in a swingers club? Or does everybody get a condom, put it on, take it off?
Yeah, it's all condoms. Yeah.
Okay.
It's all condoms, which is great. I trust more condoms than a test on a piece of paper because you can get tested a week ago and still sleep with 3 people and before you actually go sleep with whoever you need to show the test to. So I'm not always comfortable with just like off the test unless they do it the day before.
Let me ask you this, because in my mind, the only way a swingers party would make sense if somebody was just high out their mind. Because to me, it's just too much going on. It's just, are a lot of people on drugs in there?
No, not even.
A lot of
They're
people are
sober?
sober.
What?
A lot of people
Yeah.
are so
Wow.
So part of like I mean I'm not trying to generalize a lot of addicts, but a lot of people who, you know, suffer with addictions have to also deal with transfer addiction, so they're not always fully like sober. So like my ex, he was really into painkillers and had a huge really bad addiction. He's currently in active addiction. He used sex to like, you know, satisfy his addiction.
Sex is a drug.
Yeah, in his brain. So like a lot of the people that are all into this type of relationships are, you know, sober and actually just there for the freakiness and getting their brain kind of.
How do you feel about stanky pussy?
Oh no.
Do you feel like when a woman's pussy stank that she can smell it? She should be able to
Yes.
smell. See,
Yes.
that's my whole fucking point. I don't know how
We
the
had a
fuck.
conversation
Yes.
about this earlier. We were so curious if women could smell their own
Yes, they
odor.
can, 100%.
Like, see, that
Oh,
is
yeah.
just, that to me. Cause,
And if there's something wrong down there, like you know,
yeah, exactly.
unless
right.
it's like it's been like that for months, and then you got used
So
to it.
these
and then it's
quote
not
unquote
okay.
bad bitches is walking around with fucking rancid pussy. That just goes to show that you niggas are so pussy to even tell these.
Don't even go in there when it's like that.
Oh, cool. Oh, I
do
knew.
Not even. Please.
Oh, I knew. That was the most horrid smell I've ever. I can still smell it to this day.
Because
You
like,
know-
there's
no, because
girl-
listen to me, it's so crazy. Okay, I made it. We talked about this last time. Okay, and I posted the video, a clip of me talking about it, and it was your supposed bad bitch that DM'd me immediately
She's
with a
huge, 2 million
paragraph.
followers.
You know what I'm saying? And was like genuinely upset, and she was basically saying, "Hey, my pussy stinks." Like that was, it was like, you know, the whole hit dog holler thing. Like she took the time to come and direct message me, like as if it was, I didn't tag her. I wasn't talking about her directly. She came to me like as if I made a direct video about her. You know what I'm saying? And this is the bitch with the big titties, fat ass, thick thighs. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sitting there thinking like, damn, man, look, I'm just telling you this from experience. There's been a lot of women that have been the quote unquote desirable woman, and I got in the bedroom with them, and those always were the stankiest ones. And it's crazy because when I told them, they made it seem like they had no fucking idea.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, why do you not? And the smell was so bad that it stunk up my entire room. How? And you're saying that they can smell that?
They can't.
So that just means you decided to say, you know, I don't give.
No, some girls
I
just
feel
don't
even more
give a
disrespected
fuck.
now, huh?
That's exactly, you should take it that way.
Exactly.
You should 100% take, because the girls will be like, oh, like, you know, I mean, not saying me, but I've heard, you know, girls say this. You're like, oh, like I have a yeast infection. It's not okay down there, but you know, might as well like get a little itch in there. You know?
Oh hell no! See, I'm so see.
Wow.
Oh, you bitches are so disrespectful.
And I'll be like,
Oh, my God,
oh no,
bro.
no. Like even for my like own health, if I was in that situation, I'm like, I am not putting no one else's stuff in my stuff if I'm trying to fix a situation like that.
Yeah, I love you for that.
And
No,
then,
like,
and then
ew.
these dudes will be eating these same women out who got a yeast infection.
Or they were fucking in the morning with literally cum in their pussy and then literally go and make
You
out
see,
with them.
that shit fucked up.
That
happens.
happens.
No,
It
I know.
happens.
Oh, I know it happens.
It happens.
Listen,
and I
I-
hear it and I'm like, oh.
I had a friend once. I went to his house. My girlfriend lived downstairs in the apartments, and it was a dude upstairs with her. And I know what they doing because I knew him. Later, my other friend said, "Hey, yeah, I went to so and so house today." I said, "So and so, the one that lived upstairs from my girlfriend." He was like, "Yep." I'm like, "Damn, you hit it right after the other dude hit it."
Oh, my
And they
God.
probably both hit it raw.
Listen, if there's any girls listening, if you have any problems down there and it's a little stanky, always go to the doctor. But if not, boric acid cures everything.
I
You just said that.
Boric
You just
acid
said
I
cures
say
everything.
that, you know.
And it'll literally, if it's a little stinky down there, put it for like 2-3 days in a row, you'll be fine.
Yeah, you bitches need
Yeah.
that. You
Soak
bitches,
that in.
You bitches
And let
need-
it soak in.
Listen,
Boric acid.
You bitches need to have that boric acid in your utility belt.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Hey,
Have
man,
that shit on
I give it away
command.
to all my girlfriends. I'm like, here you go, here you go.
Hey,
Yeah,
if your
Jesus,
girlfriend
yeah.
ain't
Have you
smelling
ever-
fresh, go get it and
Have
just
you-
put it on the counter for
It's
her.
on me. Have you ever had a friend that like, okay, like you ever been kicking it with a group of your girlfriends and like you can smell this bitch with her clothes on?
Yes.
Oh my
My-
God.
Yeah,
Do
I
you
mean,
tell them?
Nah, she don't.
Is that a hard conversation?
it's a hard conversation because, like I said, you should know.
Yeah.
The
thank
girl,
you.
they should know.
Thank
We
you.
don't need to be
How
saying
do you
anything.
not smell that?
Like if
I
you
don't
open your
get
legs
that.
and you get a whiff of something not okay, of course you're gonna think like they know. They have to know unless
Oh
they're
my
really.
God, you see, you
They have to
bitches,
know.
you
I-
some dirty bitches, man. You smell it and you still said nah.
I don't. I
You
think
ain't got your nails done before you went and got your pussy clean. That shit is crazy.
The poor lady doing your toes too is sitting there like this in your fucking.
That shit is crazy to me, bro.
They don't smell it. They can't. There's no way.
There's
that you
no
walk
way
around
you
smelling
can't
it.
smell it.
There's
And
no
even
way
before I go
you
hook up-
smelled that and walked around.
Oh
with the
my
fever.
Listen,
God,
even
bro.
before I go hook up with a dude, I'll put my fingers in there and sniff to make sure we're good.
Real one.
There, I
yeah, I
have
like that.
to. There's
I like
no
that.
way because
I like
even
that.
even if you just like stink, like you smell it, it might be okay on the, like inside could be something different because
Yeah.
when you start fucking, the smell comes out and then it's a whole
That's what
different
I told him.
situation.
So me personally, I'm gonna give you guys some real game here because I don't know if these other clips were posted earlier. I got two things for you. So every girl before you hook up with them, especially if you're gonna fuck them raw, you ask them, "When's the last time you had a full panel?" Do you know what that means?
Yeah, like a full test panel.
There you go. So she's avidly getting tested. She's in the industry. She understands. Second thing is, it's called the smell test. So you sit them down on the bed. You know, you got the movie going, and when it's time, you know, during Netflix and chill, you stick your hand down there, you start fingering her, you play with her, and you get it real nice and wet. And you take that shit out and you shove it right in their mouth and see how they react to it.
I
Right in
swear
the
to
mouth.
God, if I ever come across a
That's
situation like that again, I'm gonna do that shit. Cause I feel like that's
That's
my
real
only
game.
way to get back.
I've-
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
some
That's my
game.
only way to get
I've
my
never
It's not
Yeah.
to
get
get
back.
back, it's to make sure. Because if they do that sour face, like, how's it taste? You like that?
See, the bitch might but the bitch might just be. She
And then I
might.
scratch my nose like this, like smell that.
All you gotta
I'm
do is just
"Ooh,"
like wave it around a little bit and you'll get a whiff.
like a wizard. Expelliarmus,
Oh my God.
Expecto Patronum.
Expect that pussy.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, man. No, that's just it. At
Oh,
that
I'm
point,
sorry, y'all have to deal with that. That's
Hey, you know what? It's
You
all
ever do a
good.
stank dick?
yes, that also happens.
Stank dick?
Dude said don't shower after a workout.
Of course,
and
these
then
niggas
try
is
to-
nasty for sure. Yeah, for sure.
And especially if you're uncircumcised and you like just worked out and you try to fuck a girl with an uncircumcised, it's even worse.
Like if you
Oh,
got an
man.
anteater dick,
yeah, no, because there's so much shit underneath there, and then you
Yeah.
put
so
it in
you
the
pull
woman.
back and there's like a little lint in there. You ever had to pull it back and pull the lint out like this? You never had to do one of them?
No,
Pick the lint out.
Never
Like
had
how
to.
it looks like you're picking the lint out of a belly button or something.
But I will choose stanky dick over stanky pussy any day.
Oh, of course.
Any
Well,
day.
yeah, because you can wash a stank dick real quick.
No,
hard to wash
I'm
a
saying
stank puss.
like, you know, because the homie, man, this particular girl I'm talking about in this situation, I mean, it's been multiple, but this particular one day is just, this shit is stuck in my
Say her
brain.
name, McQueen. Say her name, McQueen.
I forgot. No, her name is Alyssa.
Oh!
But I already talked about her. She, you know, it's been a whole controversy. This was years ago. Anyways, long story short, what I was trying to say was, the homie was like, bro, because he had fucked her a couple years before, and he had told me, he was like, bro, she got in the pool, and I knocked down, and she still stunk. I'm like, nigga, that shit ain't just gonna wash off. That's some shit you got to go in there. It's some internal shit. Some external shit don't stink like that.
That's what I said.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it sounds like something is decaying on the inside of your pussy.
I've heard girls forget that they had tampons in them for
Oh,
for
see?
like a long ass
Yo,
time.
these girls, oh my God.
And
See?
it was smelling really bad, like something died in there. And it
This
was
is coming from a
old-ass
woman,
tampon.
y'all. So when y'all start DMing me talking about this, the most ignorant shit I ever heard in
but
my
it
life,
happens.
nigga, this is real,
It
bro.
happens. And I'm like, how the fuck you forget about that?
Yeah, that's what I be saying.
She's like, oh, I thought I was drunk. I thought I took it out. And
Bitch,
I'm like,
you can't. Oh my God, bro. Yo, what's with
it's never me. It's never me, guys. It's never me. I swear to God. This is always a friend. This is always a friend I'm talking about. It's
Have you
never
ever
me.
pegged a man?
No, but I think that would be fun just for the experience.
Oh, that's crazy.
It's for the experience. I would never date him or go. Like, I would just want to do it just to say I did it.
That's like the
Yeah.
most emasculating shit in the world.
Nah, for sure.
Patty, do you have any good questions for us that you could maybe think of off the top of your
I
head?
have one question for you.
Okay.
I wrote it.
Oh God, is it from Ashley?
Yes.
Freaky ass.
No, it has.
That one was
No,
one of the
we were
most
talking
freakiest
about-
women that I've ever hooked
No,
up
it's
with.
nothing bad. It's nothing bad. We
No,
were
I
just
know, I
talking
know.
about. It has nothing to do with sex either.
Okay.
How do you balance authenticity and strategy when helping women build their brands, especially those wanting to evolve or rebrand themselves for a more sustainable or modest look?
That's really good. I think all women, everyone knows women have tits and ass, right? I think that you need to show less and give more context to everything that you guys are doing. I call it being inconspicuously sexy, because you could still be sexy and not have to show everything. So whether it's the way you talk, the way you're looking at the camera, what you got on, like I said, everyone knows you guys got tits and ass, right? So giving context and, depending on what you're doing, educational style content works extremely well. Day in the life vlogs, and just showing people that you're real humans and that you actually have a brain and not just, a wet spot between your legs.
Very valid. Very valid.
Yeah. So it's all situational in what you're trying to do and rebrand. But I help women do this all the time. Like literally, this is what I do.
So I have a question. A girl who has done OnlyFans for, let's say, 3-4 years, her whole brand is just being hot, looking good online. She's trying to rebrand and be more, PG, and she has no skills, no nothing. Like, what do you offer her? Like, what do you give her to kind of look into? Like, someone that has no hobbies, really no skills. Because there's a lot of girls out there that have gone to OnlyFans in that type of realm. Like, what kind of advice would you give for them to find their new passion, for example?
Well, you have to try shit. Like, you have to test out the waters. You have to try things to figure out what's going to work for you. Something for you ladies that works extremely well. You have to understand that 99% of your audience is going to be dudes, right? So, sports betting has become real big for these OnlyFans girls, and it is a huge, huge fucking bag. These guys are degenerates. You got to think, like, if they're willing to go online and, spend tens of thousands of dollars buying your OnlyFans content, that they're willing to gamble that money away as well.
Yeah.
So sports betting has been really good.
That's some good game right there.
Yeah, So what you do is you create a Telegram, you sell your picks, and you just link with like a real, sports bettor, someone that understands and knows what they're doing, helps you understand and learn the game. So that way you could understand what you're talking about. And then you kind of just gear your page towards that, start making money during that. And then while you're making money doing that, you're starting to test out new things and try new things, whether you want to start doing travel content. Maybe you travel the world and then you do the sports betting, and then you start introducing fashion into that, and then you're kind of leaning out of all that other stuff, and now you're getting into like fashion and brand deals. I know Nova Men will work with women.
I'm with Nova Men.
You were with Nova Men, exactly. So Fashion Nova is great at working with women that have high men audience, but you promote Nova Men because you have a million dudes that follow you. So there's a million different ways to skin this cat. You could create digital products for men, like properly, like how to court women in the DMs. And men are going to listen to women because it's coming direct from the source, you know what I'm saying? So as long as you portray yourself as a smart, high IQ individual that someone feels like they can actually learn from you, and you articulate yourself well, people are going to trust you, right? So, like I said, there's a million different ways to skin this cat. And I'm right here, and I'm ready to help each and every single one of you guys watching this shit.
Hell yeah, just get out there.
That was a
start
great
putting
question,
stuff-
by the way. Thank you for that.
Of course. I mean, a lot of my girlfriends are kind of dealing with that right now where they want to
Yeah,
get
tell
out
them
of
to pay me. I'll
OnlyFans.
change their life. I'll turn them up 90 days. Let's go.
So, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, ladies, if you are Patty's friend, I'll give you guys a discount. So just slide into my DM and we're going to
Well, there
figure
you
it
go.
out. All right. So we had some really great conversation today. Patty, you are a soldier and a real one for coming on and being so vulnerable and telling your story. I appreciate you for, just sharing your experiences with us, because a lot of these women truly need to hear this before they start making these irrational decisions and feel like they need to go sell their body for money. It's a big decision. You heard everything that she went through, and it's been a lot. So please make sure that you guys really think these things through before you make a conscious decision to, get into the sex industry, because there's repercussions that come with it. And Patty, so where can everyone find you?
You can find me on Instagram, Patricia K, spelled PatryciaKayy. And if there's any girls who are wanting advice or anything, come to me. I've been in this industry since 2016. So you can come to me, ask any questions. I'm here to help.
Also, she has a caddy business as well. Can you tell them, if anyone golfs on here and you guys watching, you want to have a hot caddy?
Here I am. I do lessons, caddies, playing lessons. I also am a ringer for money games. So if you want to bet your friends high cash on the course, I'll be there to help you win.
Perfect. Goldie, where can everyone find you?
younggoldie_ on Instagram, game-god-goldie on YouTube.
McQueen?
The Megan McQueen on Instagram and Megan McQueen on YouTube.
And nice. Do you guys have any closing comments for this episode?
Go ahead.
I'm just gonna say you're a really dope person. You know what I'm saying? I hope I didn't make you feel like I was trying to come at you, because
No.
I think that's something that we all want to agree on. Every time we have a girl on here, we're not trying to take the approach of all these other dudes, these weirdos on the internet trying to make girls feel like shit because they of their past or whatever. That's not the goal. Is we just trying to give some game and actually dig deep and kind of get the woman to actually be able to speak about her experiences. And
Of
you did that.
course.
So and I think, and besides all that, it's true. All that matters is right now. And right now, I see that you're a dope person. So it was very nice talking to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I
Hey,
think
listen.
you guys did a great job of pulling out some really good answers.
And I got two things. Get you a mentor and talk to your kids.
Yes, please.
Talk to your
Please talk
kids.
to your kids. Please. That's my biggest thing. Please.
And then Goldie, where can everyone find us at, man? If you guys want to sign up for a community, where do they find us at? Click the link in our bio,
Click
right?
the link in the bio, goldieratio.com, younggoldie_, or tell them your Instagram.
Yeah, Kellen
Jump in
Ness.
the
You guys
DM.
all find me at Kellen Ness.
Until we
But-
got our community up, which should be up by the time this video comes out.
Yeah. Our community is definitely going to be up by the time this comes out. So make sure that you guys go click that link in our bio. Bi-weekly calls. We got all of our ebooks, everything. You guys don't want to miss this. A mentor will save 10 years on your life for making the wrong decision.
Yeah.
So come
For
fuck
sure.
with us. We've learned from the best. Goldie spent over, $400,000, $300,000 on mentors. Me and McQueen both have very high level people in our life be able to come in and guide us. So you guys are learning from people. We're literally your crash dummies. We already did all the hard work. So you guys just pay us a little very minimum fee to save you years on your life. So thank you guys for tuning in for another episode of the Game Gods podcast. And we'll see you on the next episode. Peace.
Of course.